Hello. I want to speak today about self-esteem in relationships. And in my other video, Dating and Self-esteem, I spoke about the importance of self-esteem in dating, because our self-esteem levels will generally determine what sort of choices we make and how we feel about ourselves, of course. And so when we are thinking about our relationships or going into a new relationship and we want to attract a new partner, for instance, it's quite an important step to just have a look at our self-esteem levels before we do that, because our self-esteem levels really hook into our frequency as well. So that may affect the type of person that we're likely to attract. So that's quite an interesting point to bear in mind. When we think about our relationships and generally the sort of situations that we've created in our life, it's quite interesting to make the connection to our self-esteem and our confidence levels and the sorts of relationships that we've got in our life at the moment, and using that information to determine what sort of relationships that we want to create in the future and the sort of life that we want to attract to us, as it were. So I wanted to say a few things today about self-esteem, which is the value that we place upon ourselves, how we think about ourselves, and this is generally started in our childhood and is affected by the various situations that we've encountered, and that we will go on to create and encounter in the future. And so this is why I wanted to importantly make this video today about self-esteem. And in my course, Journey Back to You, The Path of Self-Esteem, I make a strong connection between self-esteem and having that loving, deep relationship with ourselves, so that our self-esteem is based on a really strong love relationship that we have there, that we've laid a foundation with for our self-esteem, so that we can use that relationship with ourselves and we can draw on that self-love in order to maintain our self-esteem at a certain level. And that then will help us to go on to support our relationships, because we're able to use our own relationship with ourselves and our own self-love to maintain high self-esteem and to support us in the types of relationship choices that we may need to make. And often we rely on other people to make us feel good about ourselves and to raise our self-esteem. But when we use our own relationship with ourselves and that lovely deep love that we have for ourselves in order to be that strong foundation in our lives, we are not so dependent and reliant on other people to make us feel good about us, because we already feel good. We have a strong source connection with God. We have a strong connection with ourselves to draw upon. So we feel very loved and supported, and therefore we're less likely to be dependent upon another person for our own validation and to make us feel good about ourselves and to give us a strong sense of self-worth, which is what self-esteem is. So I wanted to highlight that point today, so that we could sort of go into our relationships and take a look at our relationships really, and do an overview and to make the connection between our own levels of self-esteem at the moment and the types of relationships that we are attracting into our lives and situations as well. And interestingly, making that connection and see if we can see any sort of patterns there that are formed that could be connected to our levels of self-esteem. And then we can ask ourselves the question as to, what do I need to do as far as my own self-esteem is concerned? And there's lots of personal development that we can do on our own as far as our self-esteem is concerned. And there's loads of books out there and things, and lots of support resources that we can find. But as I say, my opinion is that one of the greatest supports to our self-esteem is actually our own relationship with ourselves and our own levels of self-love and affirmation. So, as always, stay safe and very happy. Bye-bye.